Before the big changes of the 1900s, Palestine was a peaceful place, a land where time seemed to stand still. The countryside was dotted with tranquil villages, and life moved at a slower, more deliberate pace. It was a part of the vast Ottoman Empire, a sprawling realm that stretched across 3 continents, encompassing a multitude of cultures and peoples. For many years, life in Palestine was simple and focused on the essentials: farming and trade. The fields were tilled by hand and markets bustled with the exchange of goods and stories. Despite its modest size, Palestine was a mosaic of cultures and religions. Under Ottoman rule, Muslims, Christians, and Jews coexisted, each contributing to the rich tapestry of society. The majority of the population was Arab, and most of them were Muslim. They lived in close-knit communities, bound by tradition and faith. Alongside them were Christian communities, both Catholic and Orthodox. Their churches and traditions added another layer of cultural richness to the land. Jewish communities, though smaller in number, also had a significant presence, especially in the holy cities. Their synagogues and schools were integral parts of the urban landscape. Life wasn't always perfect, but for the most part, everyone got along. Festivals, markets, and daily interactions were shared experiences that brought people together. The Ottoman system of millets, or religious communities, allowed each group to manage its own affairs. This system provided a framework for coexistence and mutual respect. While some people had more than others, the millet system helped maintain a balance, ensuring that different communities could live together peacefully. However, this peace would sadly disappear in the years to come. The early 20th century brought significant changes and conflicts that disrupted the harmony. Understanding this history, this time of shared living, is really important to understanding the problems between Palestine and Israel. It provides context for the deep-rooted issues that continue to affect the region. It's a part of history that's often forgotten, but it shows us how sad it is that people lost their homes and how important it is to find a fair and lasting peace. The lessons from this era remind us of the value of coexistence and the human cost of conflict. In this diverse land, cities like Jerusalem, Jaffa, and Hebron were busy centers of culture, trade, and religious significance. Each city had its own unique charm and played a crucial role in the region's history. Jerusalem, holy to Jews, Christians, and Muslims, brought in people from all over the world. It was a melting pot of different cultures and traditions, where ancient history met the present. Its old streets were filled with the sounds of prayers and the voices of people buying and selling things. The marketplaces were bustling with activity, and the air was filled with the aroma of spices and fresh produce. Jaffa, a busy port city on the coast, welcomed traders and travelers from faraway places, making the culture even richer. The port was a gateway to the world, bringing in goods, ideas, and people from different lands. Hebron, important to Jews as the burial place of Abraham, was also important to Muslims, who built the Ibrahimi Mosque there. The city was a symbol of shared heritage and religious coexistence. These cities, each special in its own way, showed how lively Palestine was. They were centers of learning, culture, and community life, where people from different backgrounds lived and worked together. Different communities lived close to each other, doing business, sharing their traditions, and building a strong community. The interactions between these communities enriched the cultural fabric of the region. The stories of these cities, told from parents to children, show us a time when living together wasn't just a dream, it was real life. These stories were passed down through generations, preserving the memory of a harmonious past. These stories remind us of what has been lost and what needs to be brought back for a peaceful future. They serve as a testament to the resilience and enduring spirit of the people who once called these cities home. As the 1800s ended, things started to change in Palestine. The region, which had been under Ottoman rule for centuries, began to experience significant shifts in power and influence. European countries, wanting more land and resources, began to influence the area. They saw the Middle East as a strategic location, rich in resources and crucial for trade routes. At the same time, a new idea called Zionism became important. This movement, led by figures like Theodor Herzl, sought to establish a Jewish homeland in Palestine, driven by the desire for a safe and sovereign state. Zionism was a group that wanted to create a Jewish state in Palestine. They believed that Jews needed a nation of their own to escape persecution and to thrive culturally and spiritually. Zionism started because Jewish people were treated badly in Europe, and they wanted a safe place to live. The pogroms and anti-Semitic laws in Europe made life increasingly difficult for Jewish communities. While it's understandable that they wanted a home, Zionism sometimes forgot about the Palestinians who already lived there. The local population with its own rich history and culture was often overlooked in the Zionist narrative. These two things, European colonialism and Zionism, would change Palestine a lot. The interplay between these forces created a complex and often contentious environment. The Ottoman Empire, weakened by its own problems, started to fall apart. Internal strife and external pressures made it difficult for the Ottomans to maintain control over their vast territories. As European countries fought to control the Ottoman lands, Palestine's future was uncertain. The competing interests of various powers made the region a hotbed of political intrigue and conflict. For the Palestinians, this was the beginning of a long and difficult fight to keep their homes and their way of life. The encroachment of foreign powers and new settlers posed significant challenges to their traditional way of life. This was the start of a conflict that would shape the 1900s and beyond. The legacy of these early struggles continues to influence the region to this day, making it one of the most complex and enduring conflicts in modern history.